What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Kaspa today. What's it doing? Is it going to go down? How far is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? Is it going to explode from here? Are you going to go to the high heavens? We're going to talk about that today, so let's go over it. I meant to make a video on this yesterday, and I already know what I'm going to say because I started it, but I had to end it because I had things to tend to, and I was unable to post it. So, anyways, we're going to talk about it today while we're down a little bit. I am expecting prices to go down. You know, we're down 2% today, whatever. We're down 2% yesterday as of the closing basis, right? In my video that I was trying to make yesterday, I was saying that, you know, I ultimately am still convinced that we will see prices lower than this, lower than 4 cents. I really am convinced we're going to see prices lower than that. But I'm not tooting my horn because of this 5% move that we've got, right? From top to where we are now, 5.7%. You know, I'm glad that it's going down. My pride, my ego is happy that it's not continuing to go up. You know, I was really close to having to admit that I was wrong here, right? Got a little bet going on with a new friend, I think. But I do think it's going lower, man. I do think it's going to go lower. And in my video yesterday, what I was saying before I cut it off, I was going to say, you know, we could go all the way down to the 61869 here and bounce. So I'm really not excited about any dropping that we have. I'm not going to what am I going to say? I'm not going to be convinced that we're going lower than this low until we react negatively with this 61869 zone. And I am betting that we go lower than this low here. We go below 4 cents. I really am. Potentially even below 3 cents is, you know, what I'm thinking. And then there's even price targets below 2 cents. But you know, we'll go over that as well. But I'm not going to be excited for any of those on this way down until we break through this 61869 area with a bearish effect, right? If we bounce, there's still a very decent chance. This might be the most bullish video that I've made on KAS so far, and that's because I do think there is a solid chance, a very decent chance of bouncing in this 4.4 to 4.5 cent area, somewhere between the 618 and the 69, the relative golden ratio itself. But what makes me bearish on Kaspa is its all-time history chart, right? And it's just more of the same stuff. I know some of you out there are like, you just keep saying the same thing over and over again. You know, there's a lot of people. I'm getting new subscribers every day. There's people that may or may not have seen this, so I just want to, you know, kind of like back up my reasoning for why I think we're going lower. You guys already know if you've been watching the videos, if you've been chitting the chat in the comments, you know, from, what is it, from this high here to this high, that took 14 bars, okay? From this high to this high, that took 11 bars. From this high here to this high, that took 18 bars, the biggest one so far. And from this high to that high, that took 25 bars, okay? What does this all mean? Why am I measuring that? I'm measuring it to show you that after each of these bars, we had a sizable correction. A sizable correction, a sizable correction. Where is it? We haven't had a sizable correction yet, and I'll show you what I mean by sizable corrections. It's been the longest we've been without a sizable correction, okay, by a large factor, 25 bars. I mean, technically, if we continue this out, because after each of these, that's whenever it started to correct, right? It's been like 30 bars, 31 bars. But what we've seen in these corrections, what a normal correction for KAS is, because it loves to move up dramatically, and it loves to move down dramatically, 74% drop. From top to bottom here, I'm not counting the scam wick, 74% drop. Top to bottom here, 57% drop. Top to bottom here, it was a 72% drop. All we've had so far is like a 38%, yeah, 38% drop, okay? That's like dramatically, almost half of the, I guess not the smallest, that 57 one, but it's still like 20% away from that lowest drop. And we also have a double top here, where all these other ones we did not have a double top. It was just a quick one-off and then down. A double top is a more bearish formation, and it's kind of a triple top at this point. It was a double top when I was starting to make these bearish calls, but now it's kind of like a triple top. It does look convincing, right? It almost looks like an ascending triangle, where you have this like flat top here, and you're like ascending lows into it. But I do think that that's throwing people off. Crypto, Kaspa included, I would assume, is tricky, guys. It likes to trick people, especially things that everybody has their eyes on. And this thing definitely has the captivity of a lot of investors in crypto. This top right here in the RSI, you found resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, lower highs in the RSI while having higher highs. That is a form of bearish divergence, let alone the fact you have a double top there. You rejected the bearish or the bullish area of control, I'm sorry, and now you're going lower. You know, really what would be convincing to me that you are going to pursue prices lower and you're not going to break out bullishly from here. The first step would be closing below this day here, which would be at about 4.95 cents, which I do think you're going to do. And then, of course, ultimately closing below this 618, below about 4.5 cents there. If you can close below 4.4 cents, I'll be very convinced that we are going below 4 cents and potentially starting the move that's going to take us down even below 3 cents. Now, what am I talking about with below 3 cents, right? On the weekly basis, too, this RSI, man, you've got a high here, lower high, lower high, lower high. You have high, higher high, higher high, higher high. That's 4 highs, 4 lower highs, or I guess 3 lower highs, one original high, 3 higher highs, 1 original high. That is triple bearish divergence. It's a very, very powerful signal. Okay, very powerful signal. I would expect at least, at a minimum, bare minimum, no pun intended, that you would see this price here at about 3.88 cents, back to where the divergence originally started. And that would make sense, you know, for a few reasons. From bottom to top here, that is in this golden ratio range, right? This is your, I know it looks a little bit different, right? On the daily, I'll just show you what I mean. On the daily, the original fib that I was drawing at first from this bottom to this top, this is the greater one, right? It's more significant, actually. Right in the sweet spot, the golden ratio zone is where this previous all-time high weekly close came in. So there's a couple things lining up in that area below 4 cents that would make sense. If we take this low to this top again, you can see that the 1272 is also right in this range as well, right? The 618's there, the 69's there, the 1272 is smack dab in the middle, just below your previous all-time high, sitting there right at about 3.83 cents, 3.825 cents actually. And then, of course, the ultimate kind of bearish price prediction, in my opinion, is that from this low to this high here, you go down to your 61869, the golden ratio itself down here as well, and you could see a bounce somewhere all the way down at about 2.1 cents, potentially even at 1.9 cents. Yes, you could. From this low to this high here, the extensions that you see that are down in this area are deep extensions. 1786, the 1886 right in that area. You definitely could see deep extensions. Kaspa likes its deep extensions. You know, more to the upside than to the downside, but tomato as far as I'm concerned. I say that a lot, man. I say that a lot. Let's see. I don't really know if I have anything else I want to add. It is possible. It is totally possible that you could not go below 3 cents here, because on this greater overall fib, I'm just going to delete all this stuff. From low to high, you do have a 382 that is just below this low here, and that would be classic, man. Just like you're kind of psyching people out right now, where you have this flat top and like an ascending, it has people thinking you're in an ascending triangle, which is a bullish formation, but it can break out bearishly, right? Bullish patterns can break out bearishly, bearish patterns can break out bullishly. They're not guaranteed. Breaking below this low would scare people. Just like you're exciting people right now that you're going to go up here, and then it goes down and people are going to be left out with that, you know. If you broke below this price here, that would make people a little bit nervous, right? Because I'm sure you got a lot of people that bought up in this area. So if it goes below there and everybody's red, that's going to make people nervous. And then bouncing right at your 382, right at the spot where you just shouldn't be nervous generally on this very macro fib, it would just be very classic things. You're messing with people now. If you go down, if this is ultimately proven right, you're messing with people now. Why wouldn't you mess with people to the downside as well? You know, you just break through that low. As soon as you break through it, you find your low, and then boom, it's off to the races again. And that would suffice for a drop, I think, from top to bottom. That's 43%. That's still pretty small, right? Remember in the beginning I was talking about you had a 74% drop, 74% drop, 57% drop, and a 72% drop. Right now we're experiencing a 38% drop overall. Down to the 618, that would only be a 60% drop. Down to the 69, it's only a 64% drop. You want to see a 70% drop, 72, 74, what we've done, 3 out of the 4 major drops we've had, that would take you below 1.5 cent even. So prices lower than what I've talked about so far are completely possible. And guess what? That'd still be a higher low. That would still be a higher low for Kaspa, though I don't think you're going to see prices this low. I do really like this 618, 69 area, somewhere around the 2 cent zone as a low, but I also like this 3 cent zone as well, you know, just below that there. And ultimately, to the most bullish effect, if I was to be like the most bullish possible, it is still completely possible that you could find support on this 618, what I was starting the video with, right? This is the most bullish video I've made on Kaspa, and it's all going down. It's all talking about going down. You could find support at this 4.5 to 4.4 area, though I do think lower, ultimately lower. I don't have anything else I want to say. So it's all normal stuff, guys. I'm not ultra mega bearish on Kaspa. I'm actually very bullish. I've said it time and time again in my videos actually that I think Kaspa is one of the most bullish looking charts in crypto. And going to the prices that I'm projecting, that's not bearish at all. It's healthy. It's normal. It's normal. We've seen it happen 4 different times already, and each time has produced a higher low. It's normal when you go on a run to come back down, you know, and as long as you're forming these higher lows, you're in good shape. You know, you're going to break out. And with how flat, with how worn down this top is, man, wherever you find your low, whenever you come back up here, it is going to be explosive. It's going to be great. It's going to be tremendous to the upside. You've been wearing that price action out. I very much doubt that the next time, you know, if you were to go down from here sizably, the next time you come up here, I doubt that you don't break it. You're very likely going to break it. You just got to reset. You got to cool off on your RSI. Your daily RSI needs to cool off a little bit. Normal things. It's okay. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. I got nothing else to add, so take care. Bye.